Hello, my name is Eric Roeder. I work in business development for Codilation. We're a team of website developers, software engineers, and just overall super nerds. We develop apps and websites in the obvious technology hub that is Fargo, North Dakota. That summary of my life sounds dreadful to most of the world, but I absolutely love my community and I love my job. Every week I meet incredible people who are absolutely inspiring. They have new business ideas or are spearheading giant projects to make our community better, or just are smarter than me and have great professional knowledge to share. I thought it would be relatively selfish to keep all of this information to myself, so I decided to start a little talk show. Welcome to my office.
My guest this week is Matt Chaussee. He's the CEO of Be More Colorful, and they create a lot of 3D video content, and the work they do is just awesome, and we're talking about it this week. I'm excited to be here today with my guest this week, Matt Chaussee. And like I said, I learned how to pronounce your last name 2 minutes ago, but that's kind of standard operating procedure for, for my show. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, Matt?
Yep. So I am a CEO of a virtual reality agency. My wife is my business partner. We've also got two awesome kids. Evan is 5 and Vivian is 4. And we are in the middle of this crazy entrepreneurial journey that takes all kinds of twists and turns.
Yes, and I creeped on you guys' Facebook. Well, I do anyway, because either way. So Be More Colorful is a virtual reality content agency.
Correct.
What does that even mean?
So that's a really good question. What we do is we help businesses and organizations use interactive media, 360-degree photography, 360 video, virtual reality applications, starting to dabble in augmented reality. And we use those technologies to help them solve problems. So what we really are is content strategists with how you get the most out of these new interactive technologies that are now up and available.
Duh. And I've been in marketing forever, and that's some high-end stuff. And I remember one day you were in the office and you said, "Oh, okay, Eric, you want to help me come strap this camera to my car? We're kind of going on a trip." And so sure enough, and I'll put the picture of us fighting with the car, but you took it to Needles Highway.
Yes.
And you went through a state park, and this blew up on social media. I'm lucky if I get the reach of 1/10 of what you got on that with my stuff. It's awesome, and anyone watching should go check it out. But you really need to experience with the sweet virtual reality goggles.
Yep.
And so can you explain these a little bit?
Yep. Well, the goggles, there are lots of different ways to experience 360 media. 90% of the traffic that we get is on desktop, tablet, mobile. So we really focus on finding effective strategies for how do you get the best engagement on those channels. But when you have an opportunity to engage with someone in person and step them inside those experiences at a trade show, at a career fair, at any of, we're having a meeting and I'm saying, "Oh, I really wish you could see this space." Well, you can document those spaces and those experiences and make them playable in VR media, like a headset like this guy.
And so, and can I try this?
Yes, you can try this. We'll put you on the Needles Highway.
Okay. And I've done this before, but I'd love it. And so,
and I'm not being antisocial here. I just have to get you. I just have to get you queued
he just
up.
Doesn't like me. So, okay.
That one gone.
And this is it's different and crazy. And I'm looking at our handiwork on this car, and at the same time, there's some snow here, which I'm not in love with. But this is just something absolutely new to marketing in general. And I've been around stuff, like I said, forever. And that's the next step, I think, in everything is this 360 content.
Yep. And what it is, it's another tool for the tool set for engaging in a targeted audience in a very specific way.
Right. And that's just cool. and I like all of your 360 content. I actually made a business chart this week kind of going over
all right.
my guests and their degrees. And so, this is, and I'm not going to lie, this took me way too long to make. There's some basic basic drawing, middle school drawing and middle school geometry, but like I put in a Z-axis on
No,
this chart,
I appreciate the
and so
the
we
depth
have the
of field.
awesomeness and then the degrees of the footage that we got, and it's Voldemort and meh and Justin Timberlake.
All right.
So, like, everyone has been very awesome, but you are the one person who we get the whole thing. We get to see Barb in the content,
She's right back there.
who is always wonderful and helps me film this stuff. Jumping into this is like a really big leap, though. Like, what made you kind of decide, oh, I want to go from like a normal content job, and I guess I don't even know what you did before this, but I'm going to jump into 3D content creation?
Well, so we started. It was my wife Katie was actually the one who came up with the idea of, hey, let's look at creating some content. We've always been interested in starting our own business.
Sure.
But Katie was the one that she was actually recovering from back surgery, literally laid out on her back, recovering and just trying to keep herself occupied. We're also looking for new homes at the same time.
Obviously.
Well, so she's doing those two things. And as she, because she's got really limited mobility, because she had at the time really limited mobility, she was trying to figure out, okay, well, which houses do we want to go see? And was just noticing that a lot of the listings, they didn't give a sense of, okay, what does this home feel like? So she then her tangent completely shifted to, well, I know I've seen virtual tours before. What's involved with that? Why don't more of these houses have this? And from there, she really launched into this exploration of, well, her background's in art and digital media. My background is in math and technology and business process analysis. So she said, well, maybe we could do this and make a little money on the side shooting residential real estate tours. Yep. That's where it started.
Oh, I love it.
We ended up investing in the equipment, and we started really pursuing real estate. And we found that as we got into that more and more, we realized, there's an application for real estate here, but that's just skimming the surface of what we can do. We can help people solve very big problems with these technologies.
Every big step or tech or anything is kind of just solving kind of a basic problem. And you wanted to buy a house and you couldn't go to the houses. And like, that's kind of, I didn't know that story until today.
Well, yeah. And so our focus really shifted. We do a little bit of work in real estate, and we're always open to helping with strategy behind how an agency would use these technologies. But our focus has really shifted now to, how do we create content, and more importantly, a strategy behind that content to help people solve actual problems, whether it's foot traffic or awareness or an educational campaign. There are tons of opportunities for this, and we love just kind of paving that path and exploring and creating new opportunities with technology.
That's just, I love it. Seriously, I remember we met at TEDx like a few years ago, and I've just been fascinated with all of your stuff ever since, basically. And each week we kind of ask, is there anything that we can do to help Be More Colorful and to help you?
Well, we've got a couple big initiatives that we're really working on. One is we have started exploring creating some career awareness pieces. One of the big problems the state is facing right now is workforce recruitment and retention. So we've actually been working on creating some virtual job shadowing type experiences where imagine being able to explore a dozen different careers in a day.
Instead of asking, what's your normal day like in an interview?
Right. To actually be able to experience, multiple occupations and what that entails. So that you're not limited to your preconceived notions about what a doctor does or what a nurse does. And I'm interested in healthcare, for instance. Okay, I want to be a doctor. Well, imagine if a VR experience could actually show you, there's this piece that you are thinking about where you're interacting with patients, you're doing this, that, but there's a lot of administrative work that goes on behind the scenes with being a doctor.
And what do you do if you're a doctor and you don't like your job?
Well, but if you're a student and you're exploring like a healthcare path, well, maybe nursing is more your style.
Right. If you want to be a little more hands-on
So those are the types of things, and not just with healthcare, but different.
You can do that for everything.
Yeah, the various trades that you can explore amazing careers with either a high school education or a 2-year degree. There are a lot of options out there.
It might not be like as needed for web developers since my software team, look at this amazing typing in code.
Well, we would hyperlapse that through your
that's fair. It's like,
so it's a day of coding in 3 seconds.
There you go. But I mean, it does amazing stuff. I don't want to like downgrade what my crew can do, because they can make anything. Probably just isn't exciting to watch coding. So thanks, Matt, for being here. This is also taking this 3D footage of
absolutely.
This is new for us, and we'll put a link to see the footage in there. Is there anything else, Matt?
No, that's it. I really appreciate having the opportunity to come chat with you, Eric.
That's great. It's the 3rd of July. This is the last thing I really had to do before I could really just check out. So thanks, everybody.
Cool.
Have a great, happy 4th.
Thanks.
Thanks, Barb.